Hey, beautiful people. This is Romone and Monica Jones, sponsored by
Much to Say.
The Naked Perspective. You can't handle the perspective.
But if you think you can, let's get started.
Hey, beautiful people. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, we're excited to be here live at KKVV 1060 AM. One of the best radio stations in the whole wide world, right here in Las Vegas. Listen, if you're in Las Vegas, you got to come and check out one of the greatest churches ever, Restoration Church. Let's give them a shout out right now.
Restoration Church.
The 107. Yes. And for those that have always wanted to see us and things of that nature, we will be going live in a couple of weeks. You just stay tuned. We'll be able to broadcast it. You'll be able to see that shortly. Lord says the same. But listen, I'm excited to be here. You're looking gorgeous as usual. You look beautiful, sanctified.
What does that mean?
Beautiful, sanctified. That's all I got for you. I haven't know it. There's nothing else to that. I mean, besides just look, my wife looks gorgeous. 23 years and counting. 23.
Yeah, it'll be 24 years.
It'll be 24 years.
24 years. Yes.
And I don't look a day over 15.
You don't, baby.
Oh, so, I just wanted to see if you're going to tell the truth. That's what I was going to see. I got gray hair.
You got gray hair. We talk. It don't got to be gray.
It don't got to be gray.
And we go back and forth.
We go back and forth.
We go back and forth. You sometimes you get into this. You know what? You're going to go back to black, and we go back to black. But I told you, if you do that, you have to keep it up every 2 weeks. You can't go back black once a year.
Well, I don't know about some of you that dye your hair. Hey,
it's a commitment.
It's a commitment. That's what I found out for all you that do hair, all you barbers,
it's a
and beauticians out there. God bless you. It's a commitment. I bet. Look,
you have a desire. You just don't have a commitment level on that level.
My spirit is willing. My flesh is weak.
Yeah.
My flesh is weak. I'm just like, man, it's too much. Every 2 weeks to do this.
Every 2 weeks?
That's man.
Every 2 weeks.
I don't know how y'all brothers do it out there.
Just every 2 weeks.
I don't know how you do it. I just, you know what? I accept the gray
no,
and the black.
You said what?
I accept the gray and black hair.
No, until you don't. And then that's when we do it. And then I say, okay, babe.
This is true.
Let's keep it up every 2 weeks. Matter of fact.
Uh-oh.
I told you I would help you.
This is what you did say. You would help me. But see, sometimes the transitions of life is real. I think, look, we want to talk about that today because this is not about my hair, but this is about those things in our life that we just simply transition. We have to accept or we don't accept. And we could possibly.
Some of it you don't have to accept.
You don't have to accept. And just like you said, there's sometimes people want to help you through the process, but if you don't want to receive the help, then maybe you just accept what you got. So, Let's first of all, before we dive into that, we want to say all you singles, stay tuned because we got some great things that are coming. We got our retreat coming for our...
Yes, and I know we have not sent out the official invitation.
Yeah, we got to plant seeds right now.
We're just planting seeds. We got to let people know. But we do got a date.
It's a real thing, yeah.
In September, yes.
It's a real thing.
A singles retreat conference.
Only for the grown-ups.
Only for grown singles, yes.
Only for grown singles.
Yes. So y'all can put your own definition. If you consider yourself grown.
Okay, at least 18. Let's make sure.
Well, yes, 18.
Somebody may say I'm 15 and grown.
No. You got to be an adult.
Yeah.
First of all, a legal adult.
That's right,
yeah.
a legal adult.
And then grown on top of that.
Come on, a grown illegal adult. Yeah, that's right. I love it. Well, I'm excited for those that are single because I believe that, we heard their voices and we heard them speak up.
This is going to be we heard them speak up, but I'm so tempted because
Is there going to be good food there?
There's going to be food. There's going to be all of that.
Is going to be a good speaker there?
It's going to be a good speaker. Here's the thing. Listen.
Okay.
So, normally, this was the first time we did a marriage, just separate an event.
Right.
Normally, much to say, we specialize in being able to be a blessing to all relationship statuses.
And for those here for the first time, Much to Say is our platform where we minister to marriages, singles, men, women, and we have free resources. We also have our book. We let you know updates as far as if we're speaking conferences, anything of that nature, you can go to our website, say.com. All right,
yes,
continue.
Good plug. And so we normally, because there's so many different facets to our experience, we like to have conferences and we just tell everybody, it doesn't matter your relationship status. As long as you're an adult, it doesn't matter your age, just come.
Yeah.
Single, kids, no kids, divorcee, whatever, just come. And so we customize our conferences. But this time we did a branch off and we just did the married couples.
Okay.
And so that was great. And that content was really only for married couples,
It was.
right?
It was.
So now the singles is like, well, where we at? Okay, well, they coming up next. They got next.
Hey.
But I'm telling you how good this
that would
is.
have been good. We got next. Ooh.
No.
Ooh,
This
I
ain't
like
that. That's what the name
This
of
ain't
it is.
that. I like that. I like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
But what is so I'm itching is because this content is going to be so good, even though it's directed to singles. I believe even married couples could benefit from it, but they can't come.
They can't come. Don't
They,
do
no,
that.
no, no, they
Don't
can't.
do that.
I know, but I'm just like,
Don't
I'm
you
so happy.
rain
I'm
on
gonna
the-
be there to
don't
be
you
able to
rain in the
receive.
parade of
I'm
these
not
young
gonna.
folks.
I'm not gonna raid on the singles parade.
Don't you rain in the parade, because I think this is for them. We got people that are talking about flying in
Yes.
and driving in from different states. I'm looking for a great time, and I think that this is well deserved. When people are trying to do the right thing, and this is what I reiterate, they're trying to do what's right. They're trying to wait. As far as in by doing it right. They may have walked out of some relationships because it was toxic, and they're trying to do it right. I just celebrate people, and I hope the best for them. And I'm just hoping that maybe you do find your
little something.
yeah, we got next, type of thing, and you get married, and you can say, hey, I went to the retreat, too much to say, and that'd be
that
super
would be
dope.
nice.
Well, listen, stay tuned, stay plugged in. Again, follow us on the social media platform, much2say.com. Follow us on Facebook. We're on Facebook. We're
on Facebook at much the number 2 say.
Are we just on Facebook? Are we on Instagram? Where
Instagram.
And YouTube. We're on YouTube. Yeah. So follow us on those social media platforms and get the content. You'll see our raw, transparent, naked perspective when it comes to these various topics. One of those topics I wanted to, kind of, shed the light on. A lot of times in dealing with relationships, marriages in particularly, there are transitions that we go through in life, and sometimes it can be easy, it could be hard, it could be difficult, it could be challenging. It could seem like someone got stuck and they didn't cross over to the other side. And obviously we've been dealing with this passage in Mark, and how in Mark chapter 4, how the disciples were going to the other side. Then a storm came, and then because of the storm, the disciples they tripped out. They thought they were going to die because the circumstance was so real. They imagined death, that was the worst was about to happen.
They started tripping.
And so because of that was a transition. And so then it plugs, do relationships go through severe or challenging transitions? That could be good, negative, positive, or not. And so that was the question. So I want to see what your master brainiac insight and your fine self. My goodness gracious, I'm so glad you said I do. I mean, if you did not say I do to me, well, just think what your life would.
Early. You're trying to butter me up.
Just think what your life would have been without me.
Oh, really?
Oh my goodness gracious. Hey, aren't you so glad? I mean, thank God that I saved you from. No, I'm joking.
Really? Listen, when he does this, I get so tempted to always go back to the beginning to give this story of how.
Uncle.
No, you can't do that. And then Uncle.
Okay, all right. I'm crying Uncle earlier. Okay, you win. See, you know what, women? You guys got to start playing fair. I'm tired. In 2024. You got to start playing fair, okay? Just because a man wants to tell his side of the story,
no, but you
let
can't.
That be his truth,
but it's
okay?
only right that you let somebody tell that. But I'll spare us today.
Okay, spare us
for how we met.
All right,
that'd be a different day.
All right, so transitions can it be good, bad, ugly, indifferent, smooth, all that good stuff?
Yeah, well, listen, any length of time you spend with somebody, you're going to go through transitions. Sometimes we think transitions are always based off like a circumstance, but I'm just even thinking we're going to be married 24 years.
Yeah.
And when I think back of the person that I was, so I guess it depends on what type of transitions, but I'll just start here.
Let's pick one.
Let's okay. How about this? I'm not the same person I was when you first met me when I was 16.
No, this is true. You did change. You have changed. My goodness.
Okay, now you
You metamorphosed. You did
changed.
a Romans chapter 12 woman. You changed.
I changed.
You went from a caterpillar to a butterfly.
But listen, we get mad when we say you change. When we say, in relationships, like what you've changed. Yeah, I changed. If I was the same person that I was when I was 16, that would be weird.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
that would be weird.
Absolutely.
So not just because of age, but because of learning and understanding
right.
likes that I had. My favorite color used to be this, and now it's not anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if we don't all transition together, then, there could be some effects in the relationship. So I'm saying something as simple as that.
Wow.
Being able to understand that I'm not the same person. So let me ask you this, because we believe in being naked. I don't want to be.
See, this is
so let's be honest. No, tell me some things from when we first met that I'm not that person anymore. And you know all of it. And I'm open. I don't mind you sharing.
I would say, like, always? What are you doing? Where you going? Those types of things. You're not that no more.
Okay, no, we'll talk about it.
You
So
know,
you're saying like I used to be a little stalkerish.
you used to be a little stalkerish.
Okay, no, now let's talk about that though.
Okay.
Let's unpack that. Let's
Okay.
unpack stalkerish.
Unpack it.
Okay, so when you and I first got together, right? We were young, and I used to. Why is that the first one you brought up?
I don't know. It came in my head.
But no. But this is good. This is good because when we first got together, I did used to always want to know where you were at, what you were doing. But that came from a place of insecurity. That came from a place of brokenness.
Yeah.
That came from a place of not being confident in who I was.
Right.
So as we progressed in our marriage, when did I started not doing that anymore, correct?
Yeah.
But what was some of the things you dealt with when I stopped doing that?
Like
I transitioned into healthiness.
Why weren't you into me? What happened? You know what I'm saying? Are you no longer liking me? And
because you were used to what?
You stalking,
even though it was unhealthy,
Yeah,
right? And then that just goes to show you that sometimes in relationships you can even transition. Sometimes when we think about transitions and changing, we always put a negative connotation to it.
Correct.
But people can metamorphosis or transition or change into something better,
That's correct.
and it still not be received just because it's changed.
And change is beautiful. And for those that are listening for the first time, this is our much to say naked perspective. We talk from a transparent, honest. We're Christians, and we do this because a lot of times individuals don't have honest, open dialogue.
Yeah.
And we love the Bible, and that's where our platform, that's our foundation. And God has blessed us to be able to talk. We as people, that's what we do. We talk, we share, we dialogue, and we have our ways of thinking. And is it through the lenses of the Bible? And that's what you're hearing right now. Is some of the challenges we had with not using
with
God's
getting
word.
better,
With
transitioning
getting
for the
and,
better.
and getting better. Yes,
They came with challenges.
Yeah, because when you got somebody, you're into them, and then you start to develop, realizing I don't need to be doing that. You know, a healthy person doesn't do that. That's usually what unhealthy people do. Where
unhealthy.
you going? What's going on? Why you there?
That's a lack of trust, a
Yes.
lack of security, right? But some people interpret that as, man, like you said, they're into me. That's how we bonded.
Yeah.
And then so when that's not happening or we're transitioning into a more healthy way, then the question is like, are they still into me?
Right.
Like this is new, this is different, and I don't know if I like that, even though it's better.
Wow, even though it's wow, well that's a lot right there. So somebody could actually fight the transition that's on the way to healthiness only because they like the fact that they were into me, even if they were into me for unhealthy
The wrong
reasons.
because it's comfortable, it's what they're used to, and they've already reconciled all of that stuff.
So I can see that. I can definitely see a lot of women. Oh, he into me, girl. I know. Yeah, I know he's parked outside for the last 10 hours, but isn't that so
With
cute?
a knife.
No, girl, that ain't cute. He ain't working. He's in the parking lot staring at you through the window. That ain't cute. That is not romantic.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's not because you busted.
He need to
That's
go home,
not
take
it.
a nap. He
Yeah.
could be Uber driver or something. Do something with your part-time brother.
Yeah.
10 hours just staring at me in the window. Nah, that's my goodness, Lord. May the Lord watch between me and thee while you're absent. No, but no, I think that's important because there are transitions when we have. And other things. Also, that's one transition.
That's one transition. Another transition is just seasons change. And I know we always talk about seasons, but challenges. Now, these are not necessarily bad things and not necessarily good things. Just sometimes things come with age. Right?
Okay.
So now it's my turn.
Oh, all right. Ask away. Let's go. I'm ready. Rapid fire.
No. I was just saying some of the things that come with age. Like you don't move as fast as you used to.
Wait, hold up. I do move fast. I play basketball. I could cross up. I'll cross somebody up right now. I play basketball. I don't get up the stairs that fast. I was picking up something the other day, and I noticed that it took me about like 2 minutes to bend over. I don't know what that was all about, but it was.
Or even as something as like we were just talking about your hair color, right? And the reason why this sounds superficial, but sometimes these superficial things can destroy a relationship.
Okay.
Because if you don't get in things for the right reason, right? You don't get in let's say I just wanted somebody that was this and that, and I'm stuck on that, and that's what I still need you to be because I didn't develop and understand like what comes with relationship, what comes with just being with somebody, like people do age. And so this is what people do because of those transitions. People don't transition, and therefore they just throw stuff away to go get that same thing that they were thinking about.
Yeah.
So this is where you got your men that will trade in the woman for something younger.
Okay.
Because, listen, it satisfies unhealthiness within them.
Got you.
So instead of being
Makes
able
them
to
feel like the
appreciate,
man still. Right.
those transitions, and sometimes the woman or the man didn't do anything wrong. All they did was transition.
Yeah.
But because we don't mature.
Right. It's kind of like the individual that likes the puppy, but that doesn't like the dog when they get older.
Right.
They like the puppy because the puppy is cute.
You know, yes.
Oh, my God, this is so cute. But the dog gets older, like, let's give it away.
How you do Blitz.
Come on. Blitz is our family dog. Listen. I like Blitz, but thank God for my son, Malachi.
Yeah, or someone that just has a fascination with babies, right? But then when you love the babies, oh, God, help us today. Listen, and this is good. I know people and women who like to have babies because they like babies, but they don't mother as they get older because that's not what they signed up for. They signed up to have a baby, but because they're not mature, it's crazy. You would think that people don't think like that, but they don't realize that baby's going to grow up into a toddler, into a young child, an adolescent, a teenager, into an adult. And so they keep having babies to fulfill whatever it is, but then not even doing what they need to do further in life. And I'm just saying, like, these transitions, we got to go into relationships understanding that when you say I do, or even think about saying I do, it doesn't just come with what you are seeing right before you today.
Yeah. No, and it's huge because when you transition, you can have a new president that could transition the whole country. You can have a new manager that could transition something. The death of a loved one, a mom, a dad, and then they get remarried. That can transition where it seems the matriarch, a new matriarch in the home, or people may have a struggle with that. Your kids moving out of the house, getting older, age, health, no longer healthy, dealing with health concerns. All of these major transitions, making a lot of money, retired. Now you're on a fixed income. So, which you were always on a fixed income. I mean, let's make sure no matter if you were retired or not retired, you're always getting that money every couple weeks, whatever. But anyways, these constant changes and transitions that we have in life. We've seen it throughout the Bible. Jesus was there, and now he's not there. So the disciples are with him, and now they're mourning. They're struggling because he's no longer here. Right. And the angel has to tell them, why you stand here gazing? The same Jesus that left will also come back in the same manner. You also see the death of Moses, and then Joshua takes over, and he tells Joshua, arise. Moses, my servant, is dead. Get up from there. It's time to get up. It's time to move these people. So we see these pivotal moments as far as in growth and maturity that have to happen as part of life. Right. I don't think it happens without life. I just think if we're going to live life, we have to be able to embrace the mindset that change is inevitable. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, someone is going to change up on you. And you
can't control that. You talked about it today. You know what I'm saying? You can't control that. And so being able to foresee some of the transitional things that happen in relationships, some things we know, you're going to get older. People are going to change. You know what I'm saying? They're going to grow and develop and mature, and they're going to look a little different, and they may not have the mobility and, all of that type of stuff. You're going to raise kids, and then your kids are going to get grown, if the Lord be willing, and they grow. But some other things that may happen, you may not have realized were going to happen, and you can't control them.
I agree. How do you deal with change? Those are listening. How are you dealing with change in your relationships?
What is changing in your relationship?
What is changing in a relationship now?
That might be a hard thing.
That's a hard thing right now. What's a hard thing right now that you're struggling with? We would love to hear from you. Reach out to us, much2say.com. Go on our Facebook. Answer that question. When this video is uploaded, we would love to hear what you have to say. What has been some of your challenges? We would love to address that in regards of change. Let me ask you this. In our 23 years, has there been anything that's changed about me? I'm the same guy, right? Since I was 16. I'm now in my 40s, so that's a lot. You've seen me through a lot.
Yeah, and through different seasons, I got to get to know you all over again.
Really?
Not in a bad way.
Know me all over again? What does that mean?
No, because
that's changed.
Yeah, that's changed. Because here's the thing,
and that's part of transition.
Right. As you grow in God, and as you develop, right. And as you start to come into really who you are, and that changes, and, I have to get to know that person, right? And I got to see how I interact with that new you. Now, you're the same person. You're funny. You look the same on the outside. The core of who you are is the same, right?
Okay.
But a lot of the stuff we built our relationship on is no longer there. We're not two broken individuals. That was who we were when we got married.
Right,
now
right.
we're two healed individuals.
Yeah.
And now learning at what that looks like, especially as I see us as we parent our children, as they go through different seasons and transitions, that forces us to transition. And now I'm looking at, like, we're at a season in our life that we've never been at before. We have almost two adult children.
Right.
We have parents that now tables have turned, where that we've been so used to them taking care of us.
Yeah.
Now we're
or
having
being the strong
being the
superheroes.
strong ones.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Being the parent, and now roles are reversing. That's a transition.
Yeah.
Seeing how you deal and interact with that, and I'm sure vice versa.
Right. So the transitions that your spouse can be going through, and this is what we're saying. Let's say your family is going through some things, your mom, your dad, sickness or aging. That just because you're dealing with it individually it's going to impact the relationship, because that's change. And I think sometimes when we don't understand that, we can be insensitive. We can and not weather that storm, that challenge, that transition with them. And it's basically, we got popcorn. We're just watching them navigate through it, saying, "Hey, you're better than that. Hey, know who you are." And it's kind of like, well, that's rude. I'm going through some things.
I had to learn that with you. Mom passed away. My mother's still here, but when your mom you changed.
Yeah, my mom passed away about 6 years ago. Had cancer, passed away. Yeah.
And
that was very difficult.
Very difficult. Certain things will shift perspectives, right? Will give you a different understanding than that maybe you didn't have before, which still constitutes change.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I had to learn, even what your new thoughts about death were and different things like that. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I'm saying. Things that happen in life are always going to present an opportunity for your relationship to grow. That's why it really bothers me when people feel like, they've made it seem like they've reached like this pinnacle,
right.
and that they've accomplished, like how they say, keep living.
Right, keep living.
Keep
and one
living.
of the things that I think that for me was when I lost my mother, it was understanding in soberness and reality that life is not forever. And then you start seeing a lot of people that take it for granted, their parents, or teenagers that are rude. And I'm like, if you lost your parent, is that really how you would treat them, or how you would be thinking about them, or would you be mourning the fact that they're not here? So why waste time? There's some people that wish that they had more time with their loved ones and things of nature. So the trend, when you go through things, it teaches you, well, that impacts how I interact with you or interact with my kids. That some things are just not as funny as they used to be. You know what I mean? Some things you avoid because you're not okay. So you avoid conversations. And as you get healthy, you don't want to avoid. You want to take on those hard conversations. And the transactions and transitions in life, rather, it can be sometimes daunting. It can be like, what's on this other side? But in the story, they were with Jesus, and that was the key. They were with a solid foundation. And I think the beauty of us now is that transitions happen and we can't stop them, right?
That's right.
But because of who we're with and who we have chosen to be the Lord of our life, I think it's making
There's
a
a
difference.
security. That's right. There's a help that you have. There's an advocate that you can seek when you might get confused or feel uncomfortable or not knowing what to do.
Absolutely.
Like, I didn't know that all this was going to happen.
Absolutely. Because, let's be honest in life. That's what you're dealing with. Like, the uncertainty, like, what is going to happen? What does this mean? How are we going to respond? How are you going to respond? Are you going to stick with me through this? This is more difficult than that. You know what I mean? And that last thing was challenging for our relationships. And so we just never know because we have to go through it. But if we keep our trust and hope in God, that confidence, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean out to your understanding, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. In all your ways, acknowledge Him and direct your path. The story says that these men, because of the storm, they tripped out. And their greatest fear was they were going to die. And sometimes in our storms, our greatest fears come to the surface. But if we go to Jesus like they did, He got on them about their faith. Where's your faith? Oh, ye lack of faith. And so we have to have trust and confidence with God that through the transitions of life, that God will see us from one chapter to the next. As we go from young to a little older, as we go from children being in the house to out of the house, as we go from working to retirement, I just believe that through those transitions, God can still get the glory, and we don't have to act like he has not been good in our past.
And I was just going to say real fast before we leave, this is why it's important to bond with your spouse, to really bond, get those roots deep in your spouse.
Wow.
Because then when the winds of life come, you can't just easily uproot and leave, right?
Wow.
That's not even a thought. The thought is, how do we get through this? Because we're so rooted, not only in God, but in each other.
Come on.
Some of us, it's too easy for us to leave because we might have been together for a long time, but our roots don't run deep.
You may be transitioning, but don't you give up. Listen,
Come
God
on.
is on your side. This is The Naked Perspective. Ramon and Monica Jones. We're with much to say. Listen, we're hoping, we're rooting for you. You can make it. Keep your eyes on Jesus Christ and watch you go from one side to the other with Jesus. God bless. See you soon. Well, were you able to handle the perspective? Thank you for listening to another segment of The Naked Perspective.
If you would like to see or hear more of us, or if you would like to get in touch with us,